Hey, what is up guys, Sahad here, and first of all I want to thank you to Hinsa that you asked me to share my experience, my ideas, and I got your questions from students regarding studying in Australia. For this video I have chosen this place which is Victoria Park, and this park is right in the middle of University of Sydney, and this is the oldest university in the whole Australia, and behind me that's ETS, that's where I study, and you can see the ETS tower over there. That's the tallest building of ETS. And what I study in UTS, Bachelor of Science in IT. I'm gonna go through your questions, then I'm gonna share my ideas and my experience, and after at the end of the video there will be some a surprise element. I have invited a very special guest for the video. Let's continue. Alright, this isn't Victoria Park anymore. I had to come to my uni because it was too bright outside, and when I was recording in the darker area, the camera couldn't manage to make a balance and give me the perfect lighting. So let's continue here. All the questions that I got are somehow related to each other, such as difference between studying in Bangladesh and Australia, how to be qualified for studying in Australia, do I need to complete a foundation to study here, how to prepare, and what type of problem student might face when they first arrive here, and how to be smart through ICT and English. So what I'm gonna do is I'll merge all of them into one answer with my experience and ideas, and I'll deliver it as a whole, divided into points. I won't go through the whole detailed process because then I have to mention about COE and GTE, and all this stuff will take a research for me, so maybe next time. When I was in the middle of my high school, I got the idea of computer, and then in high school I got to know about Bill Gates, and that he made Microsoft, and then by time I knew about Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg and so many others who changed the world, and they showed us what technology and intelligence can do. This area of knowledge has always fascinated me more than any other area of study in the world. When I was in high school, I used to have a half an hour English conversation session with my teacher, a high school teacher, and we shared a common path from his house and my house to the school. Let's get to the point. I still remember a video from YouTube of Steve Jobs, and he said something in a speech which was start early. This is the first point. If you have something that you really want, you should start working for that as soon as possible, and this is the moment that you start working on it. The second thing, respect your family, love your family. Trust me when I say, if you can keep your family happy, you can make anyone happy. How many of you have the same experience when your father says, this is you, your father says, my son will be whatever, and your mother's plan is, my son will be, or son or daughter will be whatever. Exact opposite. I can't imagine if you have an elder brother or sister who wants to take in charge of being your parent, and how many times in your life you had to take a side with your father or mother, or maybe your brother or sister. You see, that'll prepare you, but that's not my point. But my point is, your parents shouldn't be worried about your activities. Like if you're planning to study abroad, then you need their full support. You understand me? And this is what families do. They support each other. That's the base of a family. If you make mistake and they're worried about you, how can they be sure when they go to sleep that my son or daughter are gonna be alright when she leaves the country and take care of herself or himself? You need a strong mindset to do anything in the world. Like if you have a tendency to jump to something without even thinking, jump to a decision, that's because someone has got your back. You believe in yourself that someone got you, someone is beside you. So that comes from the family, that comes from the root, and this is what families do. They support each other, they make each other stronger. And this is where the motivation comes from. If you want to do something, if you want to do something huge, something big, you need to have them beside you. Let's take a break and talk about the process of studying abroad. First of all, you have to know which country you want to go to for study. Do your own research about different cities and universities, their tuition fees, scholarships, requirement, the thing you need to have in you to get there, and also their culture, weather, living expenses, and anything you're concerned about going to study abroad. Choose your institution and see their times when they take new students, 2 times or 3 times a year, depends. Some universities have 2 calendars, calendar A, calendar B, like in UTS we have 2 calendars, and they'll offer you a course, your course that you want to study. You must accept it, and when you accept it, now it comes the visa process. In the embassy, you need to send some documents such as confirmation of enrollment, GTE, which is a document to prove them, to show them that your intention to go there is to study, not to stay there after you finish your study or to do something else, whatever. And financial declaration document, English proficiency information, and health checkup document, police verification. And you need to buy a student health cover. That means that's kind of insurance of your health. Like if you come across any accident, or like you're feeling sick and you go to a doctor, that's gonna help you. That becomes handy in those times. And document of annual living expenses coverage. Going through all of them will take hours because they're pretty much very detailed, and going through all of them will also take me research, and every people have different kind of understanding. So yeah, some people will understand easily, some people need hours and hours for each of the point, and yeah, maybe you can find them easily if you search on Google. Or if you have any other questions, maybe in the future I'll come back to you. Now the third point, never say no to an opportunity. This helped me a lot through my whole life. I had to go to debating in Bangladesh television when I was in high school. In that experience, I met so many people from different high schools and different areas, and I had training. I knew how to learn things in a different way, and the big thing, I had to talk in front of audience, in front of camera. Like, I don't do that so often, but it taught me. It was a great experience that still inspire me to do a lot of things. Even in here in UTS, oh, sorry for not mentioning the full name. It's University of Technology Sydney. The University of Technology Sydney is 140 in the QS World University ranking, which is nice. So here I'm part of 6 clubs such as Tech Society and Cybersecurity Society and Robotics Society, and I have been engaging with different kind of programs here. I've got an award last month from our dean for being the most enthusiastic mentee from iMentors program. Right now I'm working with Soul Award program and doing volunteering, which involves helping new students that comes here in admission time. In their orientation week, I help them through different kind of things. Also, I'm working in some non-profit organization who tries to make this world a better place. All this has been a powerful source of knowledge for me, because I've always considered education as a way to build a network with great people. You join clubs and organizations to reach out and tell them that you have quality to work with them and to do something, and you're trying for it. And this is one of the ways that you can learn a lot. You can improve in what you want to do in future and what you want to become. My next point is, don't waste your time. I mean, there are a lot of activities where you can learn and enjoy at the same time. A few weeks ago, I had to attend in a workshop when I met about the future of technology, future of security and technology, and how employers look for employees. And there, I got a chance to meet with some experienced officers and security engineers from Google and Amazon and a few other startups. And all of them had a common way to spend their time in their past, playing video games. I mean, look, like what I took from there was, it's a tool. Like, you play with computer, So that means if you are spending a time with a tool, whatever you do with it, you get to know the tool, all right? And maybe in the future, you want to know more. You want to customize it. And maybe you might make it your career choice for the future. So they have played games. They knew what they want to become. They worked hard. And now they were sharing their experience with people like us who wants to learn. And this is for the tech people. If you are not into tech, you are into something else, you will must find something that interests you, that attracts you toward it, and go for it. Try to spend some time with it. You can learn and have fun at the same time. So that's it. Never waste time on something that doesn't pay you back. Time is limited and you must invest it, not to waste it. I'd like to talk more in the future, but right now I'll say this. Learn English as a language. Don't try to go for writing or speaking or listening or something, and this will make the whole process a lot easier. In my past, watching movies, watching wrestling and cricket, all this stuff helped me a lot. Do anything you like that involves English. That's the thing. That's how you spend your time, and also you learn something. When you feel confident enough, then proceed for the bigger things, the advanced and some important areas. And for the academic English, when we have to write assignments, there's some vocabularies, there's some common ways to write, some common formats and procedure that we all have to follow. And it isn't like talking or like having a communication. Academic writing is something that everybody struggles, even if he is an English man or woman or Australian woman or man. Last but not the least for my talking, Australia is beautiful. A lot of hidden places, hidden beauties, so many beaches, so many natural scenic places, and they're all different from each other. They're unique. Here we have people from different countries. I got to live with people from different countries and became friend with them, a really good friend, become friend of their friends, and got to learn about their culture, the way they think, common thing between me and them, and like difference and common things. And UTS is amazing. University of Technology Sydney, you have given me a lot of opportunities that I'm still trying to accomplish one at a time or multiple at a time, because it has a lot of opportunities to offer. You cannot finish them all together, you know, and you cannot finish all of them at all. We got a new building last month. We're calling it UTS Central, and this is the building I'm in right now. Pretty much it. Thank you, Doinsa, again for giving me this chance to talk for the students. I want the students to go in better places and make changes in the world, to make this world a better place than the way it is right now. And I hope they become more intelligent and wise. And I'm always here to help anyone with good purpose. Thank you everyone who took the time to watch the video. Now the bonus part, which I took before I left Victoria Park. As I mentioned earlier, surprise for you guys. I brought a very special guest here who is my best friend in Sydney. It's Koa. He's studying at Western Sydney University, doing Bachelor of Science in Physiology and Nutrition, a former student of University of Sydney. He is making right now motivational minute message series, and he talks about different communities and for students, motivational topics for students. Let's see what he has to say.
What's going on, Sahad? I appreciate you for allowing me to talk to your students from your college and being able to do this. It's so amazing.
I'm happy that you're here today.
Okay, so yeah, to the students of Abdul Qadir Molla City College, I hope I got that right, guys. And to everyone else who's watching on YouTube or Facebook or anything else, I want to be speaking to you guys. You guys are in college right now and you're about to move into university. And really what I want to go into is 5 whats. 5 questions in regarding to what particularly. So the first one I want to go is what do I already have? Or what is it that you have? So, you know, you guys graduated from high school. You're in college right now. That's what you guys have. You have a family, or maybe some sort of, if you don't have parents, like foster family or whatever. So you have all this together, okay? You've got everything sorted out. And the next thing I need to know is you guys need to know is what is your plan? What are your options? So what's your plan? Are your plans to come study here in Australia or study abroad to a different country? Canada, the US, Europe, Asia. I to be honest, when I was in university, I still am in now, but I wish I had the opportunity to be able to go abroad, to be able to go to, I was thinking about places like Europe or like Korea, the US, Canada, and Sweden. So if you guys want to be able to study abroad, write that in your plan or have a mental image of that in your brain so that you can make that happen for yourself. And what are your options? What do you want to study? What do you want to be able to achieve? And not what your parents are telling you, not what your teachers are telling you. Okay, they may be influencing you, but what do you want to do in yourself? What do you want to be able to do in the future, or what do you want to be able to provide for your community or the future and the world? What do you want to put yourself out there as? What is your brand? So you heard the first two questions. So what is it that you already have, and what is your plan or your options? Now, what don't you have? Now, you don't have a degree. That's the main thing, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, a PhD. And if that's what you're going to achieve, I suggest writing it down or, putting it somewhere so you're never going to forget. And what goals do you want to be able to achieve that you don't already have right now? It may be something to do with, it may not even be study related. It may be something personal in regards to your character, more confidence, more self-esteem, more charisma, or more intelligence, or being able to interpret things in a better way. So that's another thing. And the other thing I want to be talking about is, what are you going to do when you're going and studying in uni? So it may be communication and being able to make a network be able to build and grow a network of different people and getting those connections, because that's key. If you're doing business, if you're doing even IT or something in the science realm, connections is key. And being able to gather those skills and able to garner specific connections. Look how I met Sahad. I'm so grateful and so happy I've met someone like Sahad, and yeah, I appreciate it so much. And it can open doors for both of us in the future because we know each other and because we're like introducing ourselves to new people and different people. And what else may you be trying to do when you're going to college? It may be building like your personal self, like I said, or building a relationship. Maybe you have a partner, a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you want to be able to build that, and or you want to be finding something in the future. The future isn't promised, but it's good to put it out there into the world, into the universe. And finally, what is your scale? So what are you currently doing in every area of life? In your personal life, in your health life, in your study life, in your finances, in your relationship with your family. So what is your scale? Where do you mark yourself? 1 to 10. And where would you like to be in the future? So I know everybody wants to be a 10, but be realistic. So let's say I'm a 6 when it comes to, this is just an example, when it comes to speaking to other people. What do I need to do in order to become a 9, right? The first thing is get around people who are able to speak to people more easily. That's going to help you because, you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. That's everybody, yeah, it's a famous quote. And finally, yeah, so that's the 5 whats. So you heard the 5 whats. Now, finally, I want you guys to take this one important message in before I leave. Believe in yourself and believe that anything is possible. Now, this might seem oversaturated, this comment, or a bit cliche. Everybody says this, but seriously, anything is possible. For those of you who believe that, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that are having doubts, that are having fears, that things aren't going the way that they wanted things to go. Know that whatever you want to do, you can achieve it and you can do it. But it starts with believing in yourself and having that grit, having that passion, and putting in that hard work and that dedication. Thank you again, Sahad, for this opportunity, and I hope I made some sort of impact to you guys. I hope you all have a lovely week and finish your year strong, and I hope to see you maybe one day in Australia if you come here. All right, thanks guys.